Marco Rubio was at a campaign event in Iowa, and he made some hideous comments about terrorism and God. So he said the following, quote, "We are biblically ordered to not be afraid. You know why? Because God is telling us that no matter what happens, it is part of my plan. I will give you the strength to endure it, whether you like it or not." Where was God on 9/11? Uh-oh. Where was God in Paris? Where God always is, on the throne in heaven. The question was, how could God allow these bad things to happen? It always challenges us to understand that God's ways are not our ways. What we may interpret as bad, and most certainly is in the case of Paris or 9/11, even that is part of a broader plan for the universe and for our lives that we are just not going to know the answer to. God's ways are not our ways. Oh boy. The Lord works in mysterious ways, so yes, he did 9/11. He sat by and let it happen, but you can't criticize it because God was responsible, so, you know, his ways are not our ways. What are you going to do? There's a plan. There was a plan to your son or your daughter or your dad dying in 9/11. Don't worry about it. How grotesque is that? How abhorrent is that? And how intellectually embarrassing is that? How can any guys, it's 2015. I can't anymore. And think about the way the logic works. It's funny to call it logic with God, where, so if something bad happens, www.shh.com. If something good happens, all praise be to the Lord. Everything good is because of him. Yeah, but wait, when something bad happened, you just told me to shh. And you said, don't criticize God. He works in mysterious ways. So he's responsible for everything. He gives you insanely fucked up things and sometimes some good things, but he only gets credit for the good things, and the bad things you just get to write off. Don't look God fucked up, but don't say anything because he works in mysterious ways, so shut the fuck up. What a gig he has. Always get the praise, never get the blame, even though, like Marco said, he's responsible for everything. He has a plan for everything. Really? What's the plan behind leukemia? You know, how about, I don't know, natural disasters? How about earthquakes? How about droughts? How about famine? How about extreme poverty? How about war? You know, go talk to the people in South Sudan. Go talk to the people in the Congo who are getting slaughtered. The world is in chaos and turmoil. And he's like, it's cool. God's got this, but you can't talk about the bad stuff. Shh. The good stuff, give him credit for that. How does anybody believe this? Guys, it's not true. Your myths are not true. And I love how they assert this, and then they call atheists the arrogant ones. Oh, look at these atheists. Think they know everything. Everybody knows that God really is responsible for everything, and he had a plan for 9/11, and it's totally cool, and you give God credit for all the good things, but you write off the bad things and act like he didn't do them, even though I just said he did them. And we understand everything about the way the world works, and religion is true, and there was a talking snake and a bush, and the world is flat in the Bible, and there's all types of primitive nonsense there, but it's all true. I know all of that stuff, but aren't the atheists arrogant because they're the ones who claim to know stuff? You just claimed you know everything! Get the fuck out of here, man! Here, I'm gonna surprise a lot of ignorant people here now. You ready for this? Most atheists are, in fact, agnostic atheists. Well, goodness, Kyle, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Let me explain. Agnostic is, so there's two different questions, what you know and what you believe. In terms of what I believe, I don't believe there's a God, so I live my life as if there's no God. In that sense, I'm an atheist. In terms of what I know, of course I don't know. I don't have powers that any other human doesn't have. So I don't know. Do I know if there's a God? No, I don't. That's honesty. In that sense, I'm an agnostic. So yes, my total position is agnostic atheism. It is the only intellectually honest position because you don't fucking know, even if you say you do. I don't give a fuck how religious you are. Perhaps you're brainwashed, but you don't know. You might believe X, Y, or Z, but you don't know. So we're the intellectually honest ones. And hilariously, we get derided as the know-it-all arrogant atheists. Right. We're the know-it-all arrogant ones when it's you guys who, you know, have to believe, in the case of Christianity, that that a guy gave birth to himself. He's three people, but he's one person. Don't know how the fuck that works. The virgin birth, the talking snake, the Noah with the ark and the fucking thing, and, you know, God's going to come back and kill virtually everybody, but he's a loving God, even though he kills everybody. And then eventually we all go to heaven and party with Elvis and Marilyn Monroe. And in the case of Islam, for example, Muhammad flies back on a winged donkey. But atheists are arrogant because they say they know everything. But I know he flies back on a winged donkey. No, you guys are the arrogant ones. You guys are the ones that pretend to know shit that you don't know. We're the honest ones. Stories like this should sway you immediately as to who's being honest and telling the truth and who's not.